About a year ago, actually less than a year ago, I took a trip with my family to Cherokee, North Carolina, and we go there all the time. This time, we decided we were going to give our kids the experience of riding horseback for the first time. And I am personally frightened of riding horseback, but I wanted to give my kids that experience. So we took some advice from some local folks that we met in Cherokee about the best place to go do the horseback adventure with our kids. And we got to this place down at the bottom of this mountain. It was just looked like a little shack at the bottom of the mountain. And we get out of the car. We're like, wow, there's no signs anywhere. I mean, there was one like hand painted sign that had faded away 15 years ago that was just on the side of this barn. And it just had some basic instructions that you could not read at all. A gentleman walks out, and he's obviously a Cherokee Indian. He comes up to us. He just points to the horses. He points to the kids one at a time, points to which horse they're going to get on. He walks up to the horse. He helps them get onto them. And with no instruction whatsoever, this guy says, all right, he doesn't say anything, excuse me. He points up the mountain, and the horses all start up the mountain. His first, my wife's second, and my two kids to follow. And I'm in the very back. And we start heading up this mountain. And when I say mountain, I mean like it's not a piece of stone with a perfectly carved out path. This is a very rugged mountain path with boulders and trees down in the middle of the path and, obstacles at every turn. And I'm in the back watching my kids like freak out on their horses, going, "Daddy, daddy, daddy," like he's going off the path. And I'm in the back about to lose my mind just because I'm on a horse. And I'm watching them, go from being scared to death to, okay, we're back on the path. The horse like got back on the path. The trail guide is as far away from us as he could possibly be, like around the corner, not even in my sight anymore. And my wife is up there with him somewhere. And we finally get to this place right at the very top of the mountain where there's a clearing. And we come to that clearing, and I see that the guide and my wife are both waiting for us up there. And we get to the top. And again, after 45 minutes on this trail with not a word spoken, just me dealing with my internal, nervousness and frightened feelings and watching all this happen with my kids, the guide turns around and says, "You're now looking at the highest peak in North Carolina, right across." And this is the first thing he has said to us, period. And right at that moment, I had sort of a full circle 360 kind of experience where I realized that the artwork that I had rendered for my album over 3 years before that was like the picture I was staring at, looking at this trailhead come to its peak. And my kids were safe. My family was all there at the top of the mountain. And it was the most beautiful scene that I can recall. And I just said to myself, I was like, you know what? Like this right here, this is all I need in life. Like, even if music went away from me, these are the things that are most important to me. This experience with these two beautiful daughters and my beautiful wife, those are the only things that I need to be a happy human being. And I realized that, and I was like getting teary eyed, and I just said, "Hey man," I was like, "we didn't ask your name." And he turns to us and he says, "Goodlow." And if I could go back a couple years earlier, it would be, "Hey, dude, that idea you have about doing your own solo album is a good one." It's, "Hey, don't wait 2 more years to do this, or don't wait 10 years to do this. Like, start recording your ideas and start singing your own songs right now." I think it's just keep pushing, just keep pushing through. Don't walk away from anything. Not forever. It's easy to get a lot of things convoluted and confused in the process of making an album. And um, that's the biggest piece of advice that I have. Like, trust yourself and keep pushing.